All right. It's been a minute. We had Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we had one remote episode.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that, though.
Okay. Well, this is D.
This is C.
And this is Black Meets World.
Hey.
We're back.
We big.
After some time.
Bike.
Big and back being boo.
We got some guests. Hey, guys.
Hey.
Woo-hoo.
So we have two, no pun intended, dope people here. We have Najee Omar and we have Olivia Dope. Which one of y'all wants to go first? Y'all want to introduce yourselves and
okay, ladies first.
Say what you do and how you got here and what's good.
What's good? From Brooklyn, so that's a normal saying for me. I'm Olivia Dope. I'm a DJ, dancer, designer, mom.
Awesome.
Mostly in the New York City area. I travel a lot throughout the United States too, but yeah, I'm out here DJing and getting the party started for the most part.
What dope event have you DJed recently?
Thank you.
A dope event I DJed recently was the Ween Awards, which is women in entertainment and empowerment network.
Yeah,
like 2 weeks ago. It was just really, really cool to
I saw the photos. It looked amazing.
First of all, Little Kim was there. And
Hello.
That was enough for me. Like I said, I'm from Brooklyn. So, yeah, it was like empowering and honoring a lot of women in the entertainment industry that's doing great things. So It was really cool to be around all that positivity.
Cool.
Word.
Nice. Okay. My name is Najee Omar. I'm a poet, performer, and educator. I'm also Brooklyn born and bred. I'm repping today.
Hey.
What else am I saying?
What do you do?
What do I do? What don't I do? So I'm a performer, I'm a writer, and recently I founded my own organization. It's called Spark House. It's we create poetry and performance workshops for young people in high schools and non-traditional learning settings. And I'm also a pancake enthusiast. So
Okay.
yeah, so I make the best pancakes around. Buttermilk pancakes. I don't need anything like special, I don't need to do like the blueberries or the strawberries or anything like just straight
up.
buttermilk pancakes. But IHOP has nothing on me.
Word.
Yeah.
You can't give out a challenge about some food and then
what?
just.
I mean, we got a griddle
Next
going.
time.
Like, let's go.
I'm interested.
That's what's up.
Right. So what we're trying to do is really spread the word about what you guys are doing and how awesome it is. So just give us a little background about how you got to where you are and maybe like one of your top greatest achievements in your eyes.
How did I get to where I am now? Just took a chance and said, I don't want to work for anyone else anymore. I want to really like step out, take a leap out on faith and work for myself. Started making like mixes here and there, a little ratchet mix there, a little 90s mix there. And then it turned into people actually asking me to DJ live at their events. And then
How'd you
5
learn?
years
Did you
later-
go to like a DJ school?
No. Being from Brooklyn, there's a gazillion and one awesome DJs
Yeah.
in the Brooklyn area. So had a couple of friends from high school that taught me the ropes, and then I just kind of...
Was it like the get down where you had the crayon and you were like figuring it out?
No, it was not like the get down with the crayon. I wish it were like the get down with the crayon, because I was just literally like given maybe like a 2-hour lesson, go home and practice because we about to go on this radio show.
Word.
The next, it was real.
Okay.
So I wish it were like the get down. I had a little bit more time to practice.
And how long have you been DJing?
This is year 6.
Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it's been it literally shot up, but there's just so much that happened in between. But it literally was 0 to 100.
What'd you do before?
Before that, I was working in retail.
Word.
Slaving.
Like, I got perspective. I'm thankful.
Yeah.
I'm thankful.
Right. What do you think is like one of your greatest accomplishments so far as a DJ?
Greatest accomplishments.
Or as a person? I didn't mean to limit that.
I mean, being a mom is a great accomplishment, and I don't want to be so cliche because
How old is she?
she's 8, going on
Girl,
18.
that's an accomplishment.
That's a big
Amen.
accomplishment. Yeah. But just being able to show her, yo, you can do whatever you want to do in this life, and make a career out of it. It's really cool for her to like be on that journey with me too. It's not like, she was born and her mom is awesome. She was along with me for that ride when I left my job, when I started DJing, when I started doing like different events around the city and stuff like that, when I got acclimates and, different things happening for me. So she was along for that journey. So she knows every single thing that happened. Well, almost, but yeah.
Right. Cool.
So yeah.
Okay. Man, okay, so where did I start? So my journey to what I'm doing now, running my own organization, it's kind of unorthodox, kind of not. So I've always been like a child of the arts, right? Like I found my spark when I was a junior in high school, and I went to LaGuardia High School. Shout out to LaGuardia.
Hey.
And I remember being on stage in our concert hall, which holds a couple of thousand people, and having a piece that I wrote and performed. It had some of my dope friends. And I was just like, when I saw that we had the power to move people by just talking about our own things and using our art, I was like, that's what I got to do for the rest of my life. That's it. Like, I don't know how to do it yet, but I'm going to figure that out. So I did everything from working in artist services, which is like company management, to I'm laughing because it's so painful. The last job that I just left, which was just horrible.
What were you doing? I was like, I know. Okay,
go ahead. Oh, so
here's some. Wait. Here's some backstory. We all
put it all out there.
Seeing Naj, all know
family,
each other,
so
right?
We just gonna talk.
We were in Emma Bond Foundation, which y'all have heard us talk about so many times. So Naj and I interned at the same place, and now. Well, C and I worked there, but Naj, they loved him there, and he was just like, "I'm good. I'm an artist." They still talk about him to this minute, and that was years and years and years ago. And
so the hard thing is that, like, when you are able to, when you're a chameleon, right, and you're just talented, you can shift and you can be what appears to be the best you in any environment, right?
Ooh, that's deep.
But when you know who you are at your core, it's just unsettling, and so. Obviously, I was in different spaces, so I've done media and I've been in more corporate spaces, but I got a chance to really use my art with young people. I started in high schools in Brooklyn, and then I got the opportunity to work at Rikers Island with some young males, about 16 and 17, and I was doing that for a couple of years, and that opened my whole world up, just to seeing like. Just the potential of specifically like black and brown youth, right? And then I was like, all right, I gotta figure this out. Like, I cannot stand working for someone else. Like, the core of me, I literally felt like I was dying every single day. And I talked to my family, and they're like, all right, like, you'll live. And I was like, you don't understand. I'm dying. So I was just like, I gotta figure this out. I know the type of lifestyle I want to live. I see dope friends traveling all the time. You know what I mean? Like, I want to travel, I want to write, and I want to change. I want to affect change.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's a small little people on the block, is the corner, whatever. I just want to do it my way. And I've seen a lot of mediocrity. And I was just like, there's so much talent within my crew. Like, how do we build and how do we monetize this, right? How do we build industry? So then I start thinking about legacy and yada, yada, yada. I can go on for days. But that's kind of where I am today.
That's really cool.
Awesome. So what is one of your like biggest accomplishments? Is it starting Spark House?
Is it that? Okay, I would say, so I recently launched Spark House. And I'm overwhelmed. I think so. Spark House, like any other project, this is probably the biggest, most ambitious project that I've done. But I think I'm always fascinated over and over again, whether I'm writing a new poem or I have a new production, when I've lived with it for so long, and then I put it out there and people are like, I want more, or they like it, or I'm always fascinated. I'm like, who would ever like anything I have? I don't know. This is just something that's living in me. And then so people like it and they're like, yeah, and so that bugs me out. So right now, Spark House is big because this is a big thing. It's a big thing.
Okay.
How was it working with kids at Rikers?
Yeah.
Like working with kids who are literally locked up.
Mm-hmm.
And Rikers in itself.
Rikers in itself is like another beast because I worked for an organization that sent me into a bunch of different facilities all over New York, right? So like juvenile facilities in the Bronx and in Brooklyn and places that operated like group homes. But Rikers in itself, that was just another beast. And it really, I remember the first day I walked in there, I was so nervous. I was like fresh out of college, like a year removed. And so the young people are not that much younger than I am. And so I'm walking in there and I was like, yo, they're going to smell that I'm nervous. And I just distinctly remember all of these gates and doors locking behind me the further and further and further I got into the facility. And I walked down the steps, and I taught this workshop in their day room. This is like where they congregate and eat meals and stuff like that. And I remember as soon as I stepped in the room, all of my nerves went away because I'm looking around the room and I'm like, oh, they're kids.
Yeah.
I was like, they're young people. Like, and what they have to deal with is horrific. I think it's probably some of the most brave young people that I've ever come in contact with. I think the way that in which they're able to form community is tremendous. When you think about all that they have to endure as a young person in their developmental stages and just like being away from everything.
Yeah.
So I've had some phenomenal experiences in those environments. The most challenging thing has been working with the adults. Never the kids.
What do you think the difference is?
Adults are awful.
Oh, they are. They're horrible. Adults are evil.
So
Kids are
corrupted.
amazing.
Gross.
And when I say working with the adults, not doing workshops with them, but literally just getting the green light to get in. Like the island itself is so disorganized and they do everything to keep anything good out.
Damn.
So literally I would be waiting an hour and a half sometimes just to get in and do something with the young people after traveling 2 hours, taking 2 buses and 2 trains to get there.
Damn.
And then sometimes go through all of that and be turned back around. So after you do that a couple of times and it's in the dead of winter or it's 6 degrees, right? You're like, I don't want to come back. Like, why do I really need to do this? So, yeah.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's deep.
It's awesome that you fight the good fight and really make sure that you're there to serve your purpose, regardless of the system, because we already know how that works. But regardless of them, constantly trying to deter you from doing what you need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what are you guys doing now, and what do you want to see yourselves doing in the future?
As of right now, I am working on, I guess, side projects for myself rather than just, hey, I'm going to be at this club tonight or this club on Saturday. I've been trying to take a little different approach and route with the whole Olivia Dope brand, especially with everything that's going on in our culture, in our country. Current project that I'm working on right now is called Songs About Black Girl Magic, where it's a mixtape that has inspirational songs for Black women about Black women, and they have visuals to go along with them that I'm putting out as the weeks go on.
Where can we find that?
Yeah.
You can. Thank you.
Where is it?
Right. Well, everything's set to really be in place and promoted in January of 2017.
Dope.
Okay.
So within a few weeks, because we're almost done with this year. Crazy. Yeah. But yeah, on my Instagram, at Olivia Dope, I have a few videos.
We checking it out right now. Hey.
Yeah. I have an actual video. The first one was Ode to Black Lives Matter, and it's a spin off of the song Pleasure Principle by Janet Jackson. I did a dance video paying homage to Janet, but at the same time bringing awareness to Black Lives Matter. So,
I love that.
I do too.
And sorry, you bring up Black Lives Matter just reminded me of Tommy Lauren, and it just
oh God, I saw that today, and
with Trevor Noah. We'll touch on that after Najee discusses what he's doing. We're gonna touch on that in a little bit. But yes.
Before we get to this, I just want to ask, what was the inspiration behind that project?
there was a few things, several things going on. I guess one of the main things was Black Lives Matter. Another thing was, I guess, everything that's going on with social media in terms of appearances and how women are supposed to look and how they're supposed to feel. It was just a combination of things, but a lot of it was the whole, standard of beauty that's going on in our culture right now, where our features are celebrated, but not on us.
Oh,
so listen.
Let's talk about appropriation real quick, right?
Just a little bit.
A little bit.
Man,
so that was pretty much the main driving force for us to really celebrate how awesome we are as Black women, and as well as touch on the different topics that go on in Black culture in America from the perspective of a Black woman.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Love that.
That's it.
Okay.
Word. What about you?
And so what am I talking about? Just what I'm working on right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
And also want to hear a day in the life from both of y'all. Like, what is
Okay.
what does it feel like to be an entrepreneur? For those, who are,
Right.
we want some aspirational type of like understanding.
Don't do it, run.
Because, we
No, I'm
see
just
we
kidding.
see the good, you know what I'm
Yes, of
saying?
course.
But we want to hear all sides. We want to hear good, bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
So I want to hear on that next. But yeah.
Okay. So the biggest thing that I have, so I can't sit still. So I'm actually working on like 1,000,005 things. So aside from me launching in an organization, right? And which means bringing my services to schools across the 5 boroughs. I'm also still actively working on my own art, right? So writing poetry constantly, preparing to submit to journals, thinking about publishing, right? These are the obsessions that I'm dealing with on a daily basis. And so I'm thinking actively about how does my work live on when I'm gone, right? What is my legacy going to be? And so that's through my written work and then through the organizations and the institutions that I'm trying to build.
Dope.
Amazing. So how do y'all feel about, fast forward to, I guess, the future, where we're headed in terms of like the election results, in terms of how that'll impact your students and your potential partnerships, as well as for you being a mom and just like trying to raise a daughter in this fucked up world that we have to live in as Black people and as Black women. I don't know.
It's hard. I don't even know where to begin with the election outcome when it comes to talking to my daughter. Like, she knows that she's not a fan of Trump.
What was her reaction like on Tuesday night?
On
Or
Tuesday
Wednesday
night,
morning,
well,
rather?
Wednesday morning, because Tuesday night she went to bed. I was still watching CNN coverage, and she was just like, "It doesn't look like Hillary's gonna win."
No.
I don't know. This is not looking too good because the whole, like, I guess that earlier that night, she's on the computer on her little, I don't know, message board for kids or something like that. They're all talking about who they're going to vote for. Really weird, but cute. So she went to bed like, I want Hillary to win, but it's not looking too good. So when she woke up the next day, I told her, Trump won, like, he's our president. And she was just like, okay, I don't like that, but whatever, kind of nonchalant about it. It's not until she got to school and heard other kids like literally having conversations with the principal. Like, the principal greets them in the morning and says good morning to them every morning. And one of the kids goes up to the principal and is like, I'm really mad. Trump is a bad person. Like, Donald Trump is a bad person. He's our president.
And these
like,
are 8-year-olds.
These are 8-year-olds.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's going to be a long 4 years of conversation about different things. I tried to touch on, why a lot of people don't like Trump because of, the whole racism, trying to push immigrants out when America was built on migration of immigrants.
Right.
So, just a lot of those things that I'm trying to explain to her in the way that an 8-year-old would understand.
Yeah.
So it's not easy.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, I definitely would have to agree. So my feeling is I don't know if it's a popular feeling, but I've been a bit numb to the whole thing, right? I feel like we exist in a country that really has historically proven that it will stack as many odds against us as it can. And so this, if anything, it has just pushed me more to just say we really, really, if ever, have to turn more inward, right? And I'm not looking for some major elected official to do anything for me. You know what I mean? Not that do I think that things may be worse for me. Absolutely. And with that in mind, I'm thinking, then how do we collectively organize, right? How are we real strategic about what we're doing for our own? Because really that's it. We're all that we have. You know what I mean? And I feel like if ever we were kind of disillusioned by that, I think that it's been real clear now.
So I have white coworkers who've been talking to me about this, and
sorry.
Wow.
I don't know. For some reason, just bringing up white and Trump just automatically just makes me think of racism.
Which I understand completely. I you know, these are for all intents and purposes woke white people, and one of them, ironically, I just got a CNN. Donald Trump will do some other bullshit. So
he elected Sarah Palin as the what is she over Veterans Affairs?
Did he really?
I think she either was or she was a top pick. I'm not sure which one.
Okay. Well, I signed up for this thing. If you email 2 hours a week at gmail.com, it sends you like stuff you can do that will only take you less than 2 hours on the week to basically combat everything Trump is trying to do. So it's really interesting because I get this email and I'm like, oh shit, like you got to call the White House, you got to do a bunch of stuff, but it honestly takes you 5 seconds.
All right, give some more examples because I'm like, what?
Yeah. So the one I got yesterday was like action 13, we can do more. Call basically the 25 Republicans on the committee and demand for an investigation if you have friends in the state. So the oversight committee has to have a majority vote to open an investigation. There are only 17 Democrats. We have to convince the committee's Republicans to take action. So you have to call each of these committee members and like get your friends in the state basically to call the local offices and have the oversight committee do some reform. And they give you the list of like the phone numbers that you need to call for each of these offices and like who's who. So, you know, the chair of the subcommittee on national security, the chair of subcommittee on transportation and public assets. It's really interesting. I haven't actually done any of these things yet, but they give you like a list of things you need to say when you make the call or you leave a voicemail. They give you like petitions to do. I don't know how effective or efficient this is, and granted, like I haven't done enough to really look into it, but
that's why I appreciate you, D. You be looking at some random ass stuff
because like
that
you
would
gotta,
never have crossed my mind. But you know, I appreciate that because I wouldn't have known this information.
You just gotta like we have to find ways to combat this bullshit. Like, what else are we gonna do? Yeah, we need to like
sit here and watch the reality show that it is.
Sit here.
Yo, you know this nigga is over here putting. He's over here like allowing people to come up into Trump Towers and interview and take them around and show them all around New York City. It's like you're doing interviews. It's like you bring people into the office and it's just like, all right, who's going to be the top pick?
Mm-hmm. I saw there was a guy in the Trump Tower this week. He was reading like a memoir, or he was reading the book Night by, not Ayn Rand, but somebody. And it was basically like memoirs about Nazi Germany. And he was just standing in Trump Tower reading that shit. Like basically saying like Trump is supporting all of these radical social movements that got us to these crazy ass points like the Holocaust. So we need to fucking check him.
That is why what we need to be doing is reading Octavia Butler. All right? Because she gave us blueprints on like what to do as black people when shit goes left.
You better educate us.
And so, okay, so listen. So if you're not familiar with Octavia Butler, she's got this book. So she has a series of books, right? So she's dope black woman, and she was writing about Afrofuturism like before people were even really talking about this. And she actually predicted in one of her books, and I believe it was written in like the 70s, that there was going to be this horrible leader that came and run for president, and his slogan was going to be "Make America Great Again."
Shut up!
Right.
I swear to God, it's like on page 10. And I know that because I read the prequel to this one, Parable of the Sower. And so this book is called Parable of the Talents, right? All of her characters are black women characters, and they each have some sort of ability. And so she gives us, though, like some sort of blueprint on what to do when the disaster hits and like how we need to organize.
Oh, it's sci-fi.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And so, and it's just super, super dope. And so so that's what I'm doing. I'm there like, Octavia, Tell me what to do.
Wow.
What I need to know.
Is
Y'all
this
need to
nigga getting
definitely-
impeached or no?
Check her out. She's a
answer.
science fiction writer. She's one of the best known women in the field. In 95, she became the first science fiction writer to receive the MacArthur Fellowship, nicknamed the Genius Grant. So I need to get on this because you know I love reading shit.
She's dope.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Thanks for sharing.
Okay, cool. Anything else, y'all? Suggestions for things that we need to do? Writers, DJs we need to listen to, writers we need to read. Aside from you,
I heard Baby Father J. Cole got an album drop.
oh,
Well,
I
we
mean,
need to
conscious
listen to that.
music.
You know what it
Wait,
is?
don't be coming for me, D.
I a few months back, before the whole election and everything that happened, maybe like I want to say in May of this year, I decided to stop playing trap music. Like, just stop, find other things to play, find other music to entertain the crowd with, because it has an effect, especially on our people. And if we're not careful enough, it can absorb our minds. And I'm really not trying to sound
Go there. I'm here for it.
Yeah, okay. So here's the thing. The clubs of today are not the clubs of yesteryear. And I say that in terms of there's no dance floor. And there's a reason for that. There's no dance floor because a lot of these clubs have couches for bottle service. A lot of the bottle liquor companies collaborate with a lot of these young trap hip hop artists for them to mention a lot of their liquors in different songs and stuff like that. They do collaboratives. They have, sponsorships for their videos, a little plug here, a little flash there and stuff like that. So it's all a network. A lot of the artists do club appearances at these clubs where they just sit down there and look cute or whatever, and they bring the bottle service and stuff like that. It's all a business. So for us to be listening to these songs, just that alone, because when we hear about Henny or we hear about Ace of Spades in a song, we're like, okay, that's the thing to do. And if you're not, awake enough or you're not conscious enough, to know that, okay, you don't really need to spend $1,000 for bottle service in the club, you're going to do it because it's so influential. It's so the thing right now to do. So something as simple as that, we got to be mindful of. And not only that, a lot of the record companies that put on a lot of these artists, these are kids from the street. We get it. A lot of them did come up in this kind of environment, but now it's being glorified. Like it's the thing to do. Now you're literally reiterating to a lot of the, I guess, peers or a lot of the other kids in that system, in that whole atmosphere, that this is where y'all need to stay.
I love that you brought that up.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm from Atlanta. I feel like there's a lot of good trap artists that are out of Atlanta. Future, Gucci Mane, Migos, all them. You know what I'm saying? I
which
love.
one of them niggas got engaged last week?
Gucci.
Don't stun on Gucci. He proposed to his lady at the Hawks game.
That was
he didn't
real.
get them
That's
white
real
pants
love.
wet at all. I mean, get his pants dirty at all. He was like, I'm not bending my knee on anybody's floor. But as sarcastic as I'm being, as much as I love music from the South and trap music and all that, I've noticed I'm easily susceptible to what I consume. So whether it's trash TV, reality TV, or it's trap music and shit like that, I can only do it in doses because after a while, I'm going to go to work listening to that music. I can't even listen to it in the morning, right?
Right.
Because I be trying to find the white girl who's over here sending me an email all
Exactly.
passive aggressive at 8 a.m. So I have to realize I got to be very intentional with what I allow myself to consume. And with that said, I think there is a generation that doesn't understand it. Future sounds like a drug addict.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He's preaching about a lifestyle that seems cool, but no one could sustain that lifestyle and be the type of artist that he is, or you'll end up, burning out on both ends.
Long time ago.
Yeah. But I appreciate a person in the industry and having the perspective that you have to share that. You know what I'm saying?
I like trap music.
Oh, don't get me wrong now.
And I feel like
I said,
Yeah,
okay,
don't get it
doses.
twisted.
I
have my moments of I was just
Yeah.
running the other morning, getting my daily workout, listening to Gucci Mane. I love Lemonade. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel like there's a time and a place for
There you go.
everything,
Right.
right? And in some occasions, we'll call for Miles Davis, and other occasions we'll call for Future.
Yeah.
And I just feel like I feel like, you know, it's about that balance, right? And I think that that's like, we as a people, I'm not saying like, oh, I support everything, but when I hear it come on, you know, it makes me feel some type of way, right?
Some type of way.
Exactly. And I'm not mad at that. You know what I mean? So I definitely think that that's the beauty of who we are as a people. There was one, like, I think it was the BET Awards this year, where it was like a dope Prince tribute, and then maybe like Designer or something come on, and I was like, this is the spectrum of who we are as a people.
Word.
And I'm here for all of it.
Right. I feel you.
Yeah.
Any other artists or authors that you want to plug?
Okay, so there's this dope poet named Hanif Willis Abdurraqib.
You better pronounce it correctly.
Right.
I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right, but I feel like that's how he would say his last name.
Listen, we
All right?
we think that's how it's pronounced.
So that's
go
it.
ahead.
He just released his first full-length book of poems, and it's called "The Crown Ain't Worth Much," and it actually is a quote from, I believe it's Marlo Stanfield from The Wire. I think he said that, and so I think he used that as the title of his book. And he just, the way he writes, like his command of language is just so dope. I think that there's a narrative in there for everyone. So that's kind of the book that I'm on. That was like my high for the year.
Word.
The Crown Ain't Worth Much.
Okay. Good to know.
Thank you guys for sharing.
Right.
you're welcome.
I love that we get these like insights on artistic things that I would not know about. So I really appreciate y'all.
No problem.
Of
I
course.
just want to clarify. I'm not anti-trap.
No, girl, we didn't.
I just feel like there is a need for a balance.
Yeah.
And
Which we
being
agree
that-
with.
Yeah, being that it, like I said, it's oversaturated at this
Yeah.
point in time.
Yeah.
So there needs to be a balance of, you know, somebody that plays a little bit more New Jack. That could be me. I'm your New Jack swing DJ. You need that? I got you.
Dope.
Awesome.
So where can we find y'all?
OliviaDope.com, at Olivia Dope on Instagram. Google search Olivia Dope. It'll come up. You'll find me.
And what do you have?
I'm on
And what do you
Google.
have coming up? Like, what can people look forward to coming up? You said you had some new stuff coming up in
Yeah.
January. Najee, what you got coming up that people can look for?
Yeah, so you can find me at Najee Omar. That's NajeeOmar on all social platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And right now, next week, I'm getting ready to launch a crowdfunding campaign. So we're trying to raise $10K in 30 days to support one of the residency programs that'll go and do culminating events, publish anthologies for youth and schools. And so that goes live next week.
All
So you
right.
can find out about that.
Just Meets World is donating.
If you're
Oh,
that,
I love
and
that.
also if you're EBF fam, you got an email about this last
This is true. Check your emails.
right, check your email, sparkhouse.com or .org, right?
Yes, mysparkhouse.org.
Okay, got it. All right, cool. Well, this has been awesome.
D, it's always a pleasure.
No,
Thank you guys for joining. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having us. Absolutely.
oh Lord. Thank y'all for listening. You can find us on Twitter at Black Meets World, on Instagram at Black_Meets_World, and on Facebook at Black Meets World. You can also send us an email at blackmeetsworld@gmail.com or info@blackmeetsworld.com. Anything else?
That's it. You covered it, baby girl.
Sometimes you chime in at the end. I'm just waiting for you.
So thank you guys for joining us. We gonna have a Snapchat pretty soon
Nice.
at Black Meets World. Follow our adventures around the city and around random ass places in Middle America.
I'm here for it.
All right, y'all. Thanks.
Peace out.
Later.
Thanks.
Bye.